I'm Brian Collier. I serve as Executive Vice President at Foundation for the Carolinas.
And I'm Stick Williams, President of the Duke Energy Foundation.
I am Dorothy Counts-Scoggins, retired and community activist in civil rights.
And I'm Bob Brown. I'm Chairman and CEO of B&C Associates, public relations and crisis management firm.
In order for me to have done the kinds of things that I did in my life at such an early age, yes, I had to have the courage. Yes, I had to have the strength. Yes, I had to have the power. Yes, I had to be able to have the support of the community around me. That's how I've chosen to live my life, to ensure that the lives that I touch, especially young people, that they get the support.
I don't know that I have that level of bravery and courage. So I try to get as far as I can go and then try to help others who work harder than I do, or smarter than I am, or more courageous than I am to accomplish bigger and better things. Every day of my life when I wake up, I'm trying to do what Whitney M used to do, and he was a very close friend of mine. And in fact, I went to pick up his body when he was killed in Nigeria. And so I think it's all about commitment. That's what the Urban League is all about.
And when I think of the Urban League, they go beyond just the obvious. Having grown up in the projects in Greensboro, it was not lost on me that there were other kids that were smarter than me. They were more talented than me, whether it's sports or otherwise. But that talent was lost for one reason or another. And so when I scan our community and see the children that are not getting good education, I know that we can't afford to leave that kind of talent on the table.
If you think about the legacy of the man Whitney M. Young and the Urban League mission, why do you consider receiving this award such an honor?
Well, so when I think of Whitney M. Young and when I think of the Urban League, they go beyond just the obvious. The Urban League prepares you for jobs that are ready for you, and you leave that training with skills then to build a life. That's how I consider the Urban League making a great difference in people's lives. That's why this award is very, very important to me.
I think the Urban League is an all-encompassing organization where it helps a lot of people do a lot of different things in communities all across our nation. And I think that's the reason why I love the Urban League, and that's why I participate in it.
It's an honor and to receive this award, because I think what I have seen over the years with the Urban League, the kind of things that you've done and programs that you have incorporated in this community for young people has really inspired me to do the kind of work that I do within this community.
To be recognized in this way is an incredible honor, and one that I'm still kind of pinching myself a little bit to think that I was lucky enough to be chosen for this year, because again, when I think of what you stand for, what Mr. Young stood for, what the people who have come before me with this award stood for, it's a tremendous honor. You know anecdotally that our community is divided along race lines and income lines. And you know that because of the way that you drive into work and the people that you see, and everyone in Charlotte's well-meaning and well-intentioned, but it doesn't always stick out to you that there are these great divides in our community.
There were people that died so that these kids could have great opportunities. I want them to be positioned to seize those opportunities. It's up to the adults in their lives and the adults that can make a difference to compel them to take advantage of these opportunities.
During apartheid, I brought Nelson Mandela's children here and sent them to school at my expense, his grandchildren and his children. And as a result, Ms. Mandela asked the apartheid president if I could go in the prison and see Mr. Mandela. We had almost a 2-hour conversation, and nobody had even seen him in 20-some years. And so that was a moment of some great change in my life. That was a moment when I knew that I actually knew that God was all over my life.
As I go into schools and talk to students, and what I try to do is to go into those schools that have students that don't have a voice, and they need someone to come in and just give them hope and just have a conversation with them. I even tell them, you can have my telephone number and you can call me if you just need to have somebody to talk to.
Every day I want to work with these organizations. I want to help them be the best that they can be. And at the end, that's how I want to be judged, that I made a difference, and 1 or 2 generations from now, they see my work as one piece of a big Charlotte puzzle that made the world better for them.
We got far more opportunity than our forebears ever could have imagined. But they had shoulders worth standing on. They set standards for us. You will be educated. You will do this. You will conduct yourself these ways. Those are shoulders worth standing on. And I think that that's what I want to have left, shoulders worth standing on.
I grew up wanting to be like my grandmother. So as a result, I've been sharing whatever monies that I've made in different businesses and being involved in a lot of things. I've shared that, and I continue to do that because, as my grandmother used to tell me all the time, she said, you're never going to leave here with anything. I don't care how much money you have in the bank, how many cars you have, or whatever, you ought to get with the church or something so you can try to help somebody who is poor, who doesn't have anything. And so I've tried to pattern my life after that.
I am a champion of change. And I've always said that. And I work very hard to ensure that change happens. So that's a quote that I've chosen for myself, is a champion of change. And that's how I'd like to be remembered.